Hi everyone, welcome to week 10. We are moving right along here in the semester. I just wanted to check in, see how everyone's doing. Hopefully you're all taking care of yourselves. It's been a stressful semester with everything happening in the world, in our country. And hopefully the results of the election are making people feel a little better. And again, I just hope you're all really, taking time for self-care. I want to go through what we're doing this week and just say a few things about last week. So the homework this week is to read to read two articles or two chapters from the book. Mae Wiskin's Can't Quit the Clicks and Bijan Stevens' Get Up, Stand Up. You will also be submitting a introduction paragraph for Essay 3. And we'll look at that again in just a second. But Essay 3, I don't think we've talked about. So you can see it's the longest paper, 6 to 7 pages, not including the works cited page. And you're looking at digital culture, digital technology. So I'll just read this through, and again, if you have questions, let me know. So a number of the selections in the chapter, How We Connect, do deal with the ways digital culture has shaped our personal, our social, and or our political lives. So what you're going to do for this paper is you're going to choose an example of digital technology. So that could be something like a social media app, like TikTok or Snapchat, Instagram, could be Facebook, or it might be like hardware, could be the actual, smartphone, could be a video conferencing platform like Zoom. You could look at Zoom in higher ed or something like that. Really, there are a lot of possibilities. Someone once looked at cryptocurrencies, which was very interesting, Bitcoin, things like that. So you're looking at some aspect of digital technology, digital culture, and how it shaped us either personally or as, a social group, or how we act politically, how we get involved politically. And you're going to write a 6 to 7 page essay where you describe and evaluate the change that this technology has caused. So it's you coming up with you pick the technology and you identify ways that this technology has changed our lives. Could be positive, could be negative, could be a little bit of both. And so, of course, you're using standard format of an introduction paragraph, several body paragraphs, all with topic sentences, and that's where your evidence is, and then, of course, a conclusion. Given the length of the paper, of course, you're going to have more than 3 body paragraphs. You're going to have, depending how many is up to you, but you're going to have more than 3 because you need to have at least 6 pages of text. Okay, sorry about that. I started coughing and had to have some water. Okay, and so you're using MLA format. Please do use that. Some people in the last paper didn't. 12-point Times New Roman font, double-spaced, the first page heading, a title for your paper. You don't bold it or underline it. Just give me a title. And then upper right-hand corner should have your last name and page number. If you're not sure how to do any of that, please let me know, okay? Because this is the last paper for the class. You won't get a chance to revise it. And I'm going to be more strict about things like that on the last paper. So maybe the last 2 papers, I didn't really, hold people to that. But for this one, as you're preparing to move into English 102, you really need to just default setting is to do that for a final paper when you hand it in for a English class. In-text citations, yes, of course, you're going to cite your sources. You need 4 sources. 1 must come from our book. The other 3 you find on your own. And do still make sure you do run a grammar checker. Again, sometimes I'm seeing things like missing commas, patterns of maybe sentence fragments. If you're using Word or you're using Google Docs, the spell checker, grammar checker, it'll catch those. And 99% of the times it suggests the right correction. So just make the correction and let the technology work in your favor. So I'm all for using technology that's beneficial in that way. So the final draft is due December 6th. What I'm looking for this weekend is just the intro. Okay, so for this assignment, this Sunday, November 15th, you're giving me the introduction paragraph for the essay. Make sure you open with some kind of hook to catch the reader's interest. Could be a sentence or 2, could be an anecdote, a quote, statistic, etc. Introduce the topic, digital culture, digital technology, etc. And then narrow down the last sentence should be the thesis statement. Okay, so that's basically it for this week. 2 things to read, both dealing with digital culture and a rough draft of your intro. As far as last week, so there was a quiz. As you can see, I didn't yet grade the discussion, but the quiz on using sources, I think it was 4-question quiz. Most people did really well. Just shout out to a couple folks who, the first question was asking for signal phrases, and these members of the class did a really great job providing those examples from Hanlon's essay. Jasmine, Dally, Natalie, Liz, Anya, and Ilya. So, if you have questions about signal phrases, ask them. No, I'm kidding. If you have questions about signal phrases, ask me. I will just say briefly that a signal phrase is not just the verb, right? A signal phrase includes the source as well. You're attributing the source and the verb, right? So if a couple people, you got the point, but a couple people just like maybe wrote the verbs from the signal phrases, defines, views, argues, claims, and that's good. The verbs are important, but the whole signal phrase is going to be a group of words that attributes the source, right? So the most basic one that writers use is according to, right? According to University Professor Aaron Hanlon, trigger warnings are an important part of the educational experience, period, right? Who said that trigger warnings are an important part of the educational experience? University Professor Aaron Hanlon did. Okay, so that's the signal phrase, right? According to, and then give me the name of the source, right? That's a signal phrase, right? Another signal phrase could be University Professor of English Aaron Hanlon argues that trigger warnings are important. You know, who says they're important? Oh, University English Professor Aaron Hanlon says. So that group of words that introduces, whether it's a quote, a summary, a paraphrase, it doesn't matter, but it's a source material. It's material that came from another source. So signal phrases are 1,000% essential in academic writing. Otherwise, you are plagiarizing, right? You can't just have a quote, a sentence in quotation marks just sitting on the page. That doesn't tell your reader where it's from. Even if you have a citation at the end with the last name, you still need a signal phrase if you're using a quote, right? If you're paraphrasing or summarizing, meaning you're putting it into your own words and you're not using quotation marks, then it's okay to just have the citation with the last name in the end, right? But if it's a quote, because I have seen in essay 2 a couple just like quotes in the middle of a paragraph with no citation, you know. Even if you put it on your works cited page, when I'm reading that paragraph, your reader doesn't know where did this come from. So signal phrases are absolutely essential, whether you quote, paraphrase, or summarize. They're essential when you quote. And it's just a good practice. Just get in the habit of, I think, using them, particularly in this last paper in a 101 class. When you get to 102, and you're working on the research paper, you'll become more adept at the different variety of signal phrases and citation. You know, like I said, if you're paraphrasing or summarizing, you can just get away with using a citation at the end of the sentence, the parenthetical citation. But for now, for this last paper, really try to practice and vary using your signal phrases. And if you're quoting, you have to use a signal phrase. Okay. What else? I think that's all I wanted to say, actually, about the quiz. So let me know if you have questions about Essay 3. Let me know if you have questions about the 2 articles you're reading this week. There's no discussion this week. You don't have to engage in a discussion, class discussion. I think that's all. So let me know if you have questions. Take care of yourselves. Hang in there. I know it's like 80 degrees today, but it'll be December 9th before you know it. So we've got about, a month left in the term here. So just hang in there, and I'm here to help as much as I can. So just reach out. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.